Hello and welcome to TNT's the Great British Wrestling Podcast for Great British Wrestling, as featured on bodyslam.net, the John's Podcasting Network, and loads of other different little places to find our podcast. We hope you enjoy it. We like this. My name is Andy Moore. I literally forgot my own name there. My name is Andy Moore, the Great British Otaku. I am joined, obviously, by Big Daddy Dan, Mr. Daniel Allen, just Dan for short. How are we doing, Dan?
In a very, very good mood. A fantastic mood. And I can remember my own name because, it's only 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Andy. You shouldn't have had so many beers.
Look, I'm blaming the meds. I was in a lot of pain this morning, and I decided that I was going to need some meds to get through this episode. So that's what I did. I've taken meds, and I'm feeling them. It's good. Anyway, we're trying something a little bit different today. We were coming up with ideas of what we were going to do this week. We didn't really have a plan to begin with, and we decided to go with a bit of a mixed bag of half of my idea, half of Dan's idea. We're going to do a couple of watch-alongs alongside some reviews, because there has been so much wrestling recently that if we waited till the end of February, I don't think we'd have been able to talk about all the goddamn shows. So I figured we needed a mid spot this week to talk about some of those shows that have been happening. But we're also trial running something that we definitely want to do in the future. It was one of our original ideas, was like, if we could ever get onto TV and show a match and talk about a match. Well, we're going to be doing something. This is a prototype version of that. We will not be showing the match. We will not be providing commentary for the match, but we will be watching along matches, providing just some random chat in between and just talking, if there's some cool spots. We've picked 4 matches for you, which you can all see for free on YouTube. And so we urge you to go get yourself on YouTube on another channel and set it up alongside and watch along with us. So we're going to be watching Rhio and Ellie Armstrong versus the She-Wolves from the recent ICW Fight Club taping. We're going to watch Brendan White versus Peter Tihanyi, which is part of WXW's Fight Forever show. We're going to be watching Ian Skinner versus Just Joe Lando versus KM Lane from the recent Hammerlock show. And then there is one more match. It is Mark Andrews versus James Ellis from the New Wave Pro Academy show. As I say, all of these shows are free to watch on YouTube. But along with that, we're going to be talking about my recent trips to Coventry to watch Wrestle Carnival just 2 weeks back, as well as my very recent trip to Manchester last weekend to watch South Pro. We also are going to be providing some details for WXW's Back to Roots 2023 progress, spreading the news, and Rev Pro UK's live in London 80. See, I told you, lots to talk about it, and unfortunately, it just could not wait to the end of the month. Dan, are you looking forward to seeing some of these matches? You haven't seen them yet. I have.
No, I've not seen them, and I am very much looking forward to seeing them, particularly the Ian Skinner, KM Lane, Joe Lando match. That's going to be a banger. And you know me, I love the She-Wolves.
I know you love the She-Wolves, so I had to put them on there. Plus Rhio and Ellie Armstrong in that match, and as I say, really good matches. Mark Andrews versus James Ellis at New Wave Pro, and yeah. First of all, so shall I kick off talking about my trip to Coventry and Wrestle Carnival?
I think that would make sense.
All right, so a couple of weeks ago, I was, had to go to the in-laws, as you do, family time. So I looked at what shows was in and around, and I chose Wrestle Carnival's Coventry show, which was Carnival of Champions 2. I literally had to go into London and then to Coventry to get there, though. But we It's actually no hassle at all. It's actually really, really easy to do. So if you're looking to get into Coventry, if you can get into London quite easily, it's a simple and quick trip. Yeah, it was a great, great show. It kicked off. We had Joe Hendry's students, or three of Joe Hendry's students over in his wrestling academy in Scotland. So we had Ronan King, Judas Gray, and Big Ches. And Big Ches is right. Big Ches is an accurate description of Big Ches. He is big. He looks like he could be an absolute monster in Wrestle Carnival, very similar to Kane type monster at Wrestle Carnival. Judas Gray and Ronan King are two fantastic young athletes. This was a really fun match. You got to see Judas Gray hit a insane senton dive off the turnbuckle to the outside. In fact, if you check through our Twitter, you'll see a video of it. It's brilliant. But you know, for me, Ronan King, he really did kind of steal the show in this match. He is cocky, he is confident, he has the athleticism to back it up. I see true star potential in Ronan King, and not that I don't see star potential in Ches or Judas Gray. I definitely do. Ronan King really shined in this match, and I look forward to seeing him more in the future. It was then Emerson James versus Sam Bailey in a pure rules division match. Of course, Wrestle Carnival, they love pure wrestling just as much as me, and they have the pure wrestling division. And Sam Bailey and Emerson Jane. You know, for me, Emerson Jane is 100% one of the best wrestlers in Europe right now. She is fantastic. She can hit hard. She's technical. She hit a fantastic springboard Hurricane Rana off the top. Again, go check for our Twitter. I caught it on video. It was brilliant.
It was good
yeah.
filming, mate.
And Sam Bailey, he is, you know, not given enough credit where it's due for being just an incredible wrestler. I mean, by God, most of your favorites, he's probably had a hand in training at some point, especially if they've come from that Northwest area. Your young guns, your grizzled young veterans, all those guys. Sam Bailey's fingerprints are all over him, and he is a phenomenal, great worker. He did a brilliant job with Emerson Jane in this match. Really loved it. We had the Future X Cup, so we took a look into the future with Wrestle Carnival. We had CJ Rawlins versus George Lydon versus Mark True versus Nino Bryant. Exciting, fun, high flying, diving, some great wrestling. You know, each guy had their own little uniqueness to them. Great match as well, and CJ Rawlins picked up a big victory. So he was given a Future X Championship, but he's cashing in his option C, and he wants his opportunity at Man Like the Reese sooner rather than later. So it'll be interesting to see when he gets that match. I think it has possibly been arranged already. You'll check Wrestle Carnival's Twitter feed to find out for sure. It was supposed to be Nathan Cruz versus Joseph Connors. Unfortunately, Joseph Connors was ill or picked up an injury. He wasn't available for the show, so it ended up being Nathan Cruz versus Joseph Connors' young student, Riley Nova, which Nathan Cruz just started beating him up backstage, threw him out into them, and just literally beat him to a pulp. A few hope spots for Riley Nova, but it was mainly just about Nathan Cruz getting this dominant victory and pushing Joseph Connor's student to the edge. Chantel Jordan replaced Lizzie Evo, who again, injury or illness, was unable to make the show. She was set to be in a no DQ match with Charlie Morgan. Charlie Morgan, expecting the no DQ match, did not bring her wrestling gear. She was in her jeans. So she then went to Chantel Jordan. Should we just make this a no DQ match? And Chantel Jordan was like, yeah, fine, let's make it a no DQ match. And then they battered each other for a little while, with Chantel Jordan picking up a huge victory. Big win for Chantel Jordan over Charlie Morgan. Chris Ridgway versus Tommy Kyle. This is Chris Ridgway when he's at his best. This is, he doesn't have to be the cocky heel. He doesn't have to be the heel that gets on the microphone and goes, I'm a bad man, or anything like that. He just took things too far in the match. He just beat the pulp out of poor Tommy Kyle, who had some great match spots. And, he pushed Chris Ridgway to the edge, including making Chris Ridgway use up all of his free rope breaks that you only get in a Pure Rules match. He made Chris Ridgway use them all up. But Ridgway, very similar to what he did to Banks and G-Money in the Super Strong Style 16. At one point, he gives him this huge boot to the head. And as James Green's gone to check on him, he's literally stopped James Green from checking on him, and then gone back and started beating up even more. And every time James Greenwood is trying to actually check on Tommy Kyle, Ridgway, he's literally like pushing him into the corner and just like, no, this match is still going. And so I loved this, absolutely loved this. Of course, Chris Ridgway did come away with the win, as you can imagine. Jeddah versus Lana, two excellent veterans, put on a very good match. Man Like recently on Slater was the main event. What can you expect? What do you expect from this match? Of course, it was two guys who know each other so well right now. So they were able to counter each other a lot. Lots of athleticism, lots of great strength showings from Man Like DeReese. Excellent, Leon Slater hitting that huge corner to corner drop kick, which was just beautiful. Again, I caught it on video. Go check it out on our Twitter. It was,
Just explain which corners it was.
So I'm not talking about the Rob Van Dam, going lineal. No, I'm talking going diagonally across the, which, yes, given it's not a 20 by 20 ring, or even an 18 by 18, it's 16 by 16, so it'd be about, still about 14 feet. Would that be all right?
No, longer than that. That'd be about 20.
It's incredible to see, and the way Man Like DeReese sells it is brilliant, because Man Like DeReese actually gets up and he actually gets hit in the chest and then just bounces into the turnbuckle again. It's just great. Go check it out on our Twitter feed. In fact, this show is now available on the Premier Sports Network, which is the new hosting channel for Wrestle Carnival. The back catalogue will be joining Premier Sports Network. It's the same one that 1PW have recently joined as well. So it's an up-and-coming new on-demand service to check out. You can also see it on their Patreon service, their YouTube channel. Either way, go check it out. This was a great show. There was some excellent after match stuff, as well as a few other things that I'm not going to talk about, because I want you to go out and I want you to watch these shows. We got an introduction of a new general manager. Just do yourselves a favor, go watch Wrestle Carnival. I really enjoyed this show, and I would definitely 100% 3.75 for the show overall. It was a really, really good show. I love the HMV Empire as the Wrestle Carnival venue. It looks fantastic. I love the way the Wrestle Carnival ring is kitted out. It looks fantastic. Small little details really matter. They go a long way. The guys, you can tell how much they love wrestling over there. The fans are really into this show, especially the younger members of the audience who did come out in plentiful numbers to support their favourites from Boulan or Austin. So, but yeah, any questions?
No, I don't think so. But I think we should definitely give a shout out to the referee because let's be honest here, James Greenwood, probably the best referee in the UK.
Probably, definitely, maybe one of definitely three guys who possibly, including, yeah, there's some top we have some great referees in this country, and even the guys who aren't even at the top level, they've got so many great referees, and yeah, James Greenwood definitely among them, as well as Tom Scarborough, Oscar Harding, Scotty Bell. Yeah. It's quite if we just got so many great referees in this country.
We are very lucky.
Yeah, so I would definitely go out your way, go check this show out. Premier Sports Network, I believe, is the new streaming channel, or you can join their Patreon service, which is $4.99 a month. Full access to all of their back catalogue, new shows, exclusive interviews, exclusive backstage footage, which you won't get anywhere else other than their Patreon. So it is worth getting on there. Right. Should we watch some ICW?
Love to watch some ICW.
Which one was ICW? That was the first one, wasn't it? Yeah.
I believe it was.
Excellent. So this is from the latest Insane Championship Wrestling show that also featured Landon Riley versus Leon Graves, Jackie Polo versus Saqib Ali, Theo Doris versus the Outlaw Stevie James, Dylan Thorne defeating Kenny Williams, Daz Black versus Sheik Sham, and Jason Reed versus Leighton Buzzard. Really great show overall. As I say, we're going to be watching it in the background now. The She-Wolves versus Rhio and Ellie Armstrong. Of course, as we say, this will be on silent, and we're not going to be providing match play-by-play commentary. We're going to be providing some degree of commentary of the show and maybe talking about the whole show overall as the match is playing in the background. So you hit play.
I have hit play.
Cool. So kind of missing the intros here. We're just coming to the end of Molly Spartan, and yeah, they look so freaking awesome, don't they, as a team?
They do. We came in at 1 hour, 21 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yeah. These Molly Spartan is, the ICW champion right now. She's held that belt since she defeated Angel Hayes, I think November last year. Might have actually been sooner than that. She's held the title for quite some time now. It's a new ICW championship belt as well, as it's literally just being brought out by the head referee, Simon Cassidy, is it?
I believe so. I do love the fact they brought it out in a belt bag as well because it's an important thing.
Yes. This is a beautiful new belt. It looks so much better than the previous ICW championship belt. It's Casey just having a look at the belt there, though. Yeah, she's happy for her teammate, of course. Casey and Molly Spartan actually fought it out at the Fear and Loathing show for the championship, which Molly Spartan came away with the win. I'm going to have to maybe check out on ICW On Demand. Square Go coming up for ICW is actually going to be available on Fight TV. I believe there's a live pay-per-view as well. So Square Go looking really interesting show coming up soon. So we got Casey and Ellie Armstrong, who's looking better than ever by the looks of it.
Yeah. But Casey is just, I think, the best all-round women's wrestler in the UK. I say all-round, that there are people that are better technically. There are people that could be better on the microphone. But all-round, I think Casey is just exceptional.
Indeed. But we're really seeing Ellie Armstrong come out hot in this match, showing her that strength and power Certainly somebody in the future, somebody who's really going to be able to match up well with Molly Spartan, who's just come into the ring along, and Rio's also now made her way into the ring.
And Rhio is probably that one that I was saying about the technical wrestling side that could be stronger.
Absolutely. Couple of big boots there sends Molly Spartan to the ground, and that Ellie Armstrong is fully in control right now. That was a little interesting.
It's very good to see Rhio immediately gets back out of the ring when it's back to one-on-one, because that is what she should be doing as the face.
Absolutely. This is, as I say, great show altogether. There's some really good matches on this card, including obviously Sheik El-Sham versus Daz Black, that immediately follows this match. And of course, Daz Black will be the number 30 entrant at ICW Square Go at the end of this month. After actually winning the number 30 spot, he decided to enter as number 1.
Yeah, I still can't quite get my head around that storytelling.
I know he's actually picked up an injury at the moment. He's going to be out of the North NCL match coming up soon. But really seeing a new, very improved Ellie Armstrong. She's come out in this match really hot. Great belly to belly there. Unfortunately, she hasn't realized she's not the legal. Boom! Molly Spartan, when she wants to be, she is an absolute wrecking ball. There is no stopping her.
No. And of course, it's also great to see tag ropes being used, because I know how you feel about tag ropes, Andy.
Absolutely. Make sure you're a hold of the tag rope. None of that hold the turnbuckle. Tag rope is the way to go. We're seeing the She-Wolves really now do what they do best. And that is
pound and beat people up.
Absolutely. Tag team wrestling, isolating Ellie Armstrong in their half of the ring, and Casey with the viciousness, those huge knees, such a variety of attack, and then in comes Molly Spartan, hits a bosh bash, few power moves. It's a great tag team combination.
Yeah, you can see Rhio just begging for a partner to tag.
Yep, of course, she is the number 1 contender for Molly Spartan's ICW Women's Championship, and they will be going at it one-on-one at Square Go, which is, I believe, on the last Sunday of the month. Is it 26th?
I believe so.
Yes, 26th. There we go. Casey fully in control right now. So there's been a great exhibition of tag team wrestling from the She-Wolves, and let's see what Ellie Armstrong and Rhio, if they can fight their way back. As I mentioned earlier, you also got some great matches, including Dylan Thorne versus Kenny Williams. Now, I know you've been a big fan of Kenny Williams, his NXT UK run. And he was the cockroach in NXT UK. Here he's the scum of the earth. Yes,
which is a much better reputation name for him. But I just think he's great. For a smaller guy, he is a genuine threat whenever he's in the ring.
Yeah, kind of almost in the mold of Noam Dar, if you like. He was the follow-up to Dar in many ways, to be that new baby face at the time when he was the smaller guy, when he used to have the Back to the Future gimmick. Then, he was just fun, lucky Kenny Williams. But it's, this darker, more vicious side that we've seen him employ. Including the fact that he now spits black goo at his opponent. So
I was just watching an old ECW match with Tajiri versus Little Guido versus Mikey Whipwreck versus Psychosis. And yeah, the green goo from Tajiri was always good.
Absolutely. This is like similar to, I guess, the black goo that you get in from Aleister Black over in AEW. Except for this one looks a bit more like tar almost. It's really, really dark and sticky and black. And you see him put it to good use, not in the match he has with Dylan Thorne, but later in the show, during the main event, there was Jason Reed and Leighton Buzzard.
Yeah. Well, I've just seen Ellie going for a tag partner. Her tag partner has been pulled off the ring apron by Casey, and Molly is going straight at it with Ellie.
Absolutely. As I say, classic tag team wrestling. Isolate your opponent. Don't let them tag out, and keep them in your corner. And I think it's the She-Wolves are, one of the best tag teams in Europe, in the world. If you like, they are absolutely fantastic.
Big drop kick from Ellie Armstrong.
It's been a while that you've been on ECW, on ICW, hasn't it?
It has indeed. It has. And I am thoroughly enjoying catching up with the She-Wolves. Last time I saw them live was TNT in September. I do want to remedy that.
I got to see She-Wolves. It was actually Casey and Angel Hayes She-Wolves, because in TNT Extreme, Angel Hayes has joined the She-Wolves. I wonder if we'll see that happen in ICW. It'd be good.
Well, she was a member of the She-Wolves in ICW before and then got kicked out.
Was she? Are you sure?
Yeah, I
am. I seem to remember Angel Hayes and Molly Spartan going at it for a lot of the non-taped, the no crowd shows when they were on the WWE Network.
Yeah, that was exactly why, because she'd been a member, she got kicked out, and then they fought over it.
I don't know. I feel like you're confusing the storyline, because I know Rhio used to be a member, but again, that was in TNT Extreme. And they had a big battle over that. And really seeing Rhio go to town right now. She is a phenomenal competitor, member of course, Northwest Strong.
Love me some Northwest Strong.
Absolutely. She's the number one contender now for the Progress Women's Championship as well. I'll be able to talk to you about that later, because she picked up that number one contendership at thing. She's going for that swinging net breaker. No. Ooh. Thing is Molly Spartan, she typically only needs one shot to put you back down to the mat, doesn't she?
Yeah. Very much so.
As I say, the show opens up with Landon Riley and Leon Graves, two young trainees, as they battle it out in a square go entrant qualifier. I believe there is still one more match to go, which Landon Riley will have to get through. I can't remember who he's to face. He's Sam Roberts, the Supreme, and the two will be battling out at Square Go to be at Square Go.
Oh, this is such a good match.
You know, you are talking three of the very best, and Ellie is certainly really, really impressed me in this match. Her offense very early on, her selling during the match, being the one that took the heat from the She-Wolves for a good bulk of this match is really, really impressive. So big hopes on the plant-based powerhouse that is Ellie Armstrong. But as I was saying, Rhio, Casey, Molly, they are three of the, best in the UK, best in Europe right now, best in the world.
Yeah.
Oh, great combination.
Massive.
No, I don't know. I've just seen it come to an end. I think I might have clicked ahead of just by a second or two.
Yeah. No, I've seen it end. It's really good.
Great combination work between that huge running knee in the corner from Casey as she then sends Rhio directly into Molly Spot and spear. Post match, Molly will get onto the mic. She'll talk to Rhio, obviously, about that upcoming challenge. So yeah, go check that out. That's on the ICW YouTube channel right now for free. 100% well worth looking at it. Let me tell you about WXW Back to the Roots 2023, which is available on their WXW Now 2.0, which is available on YouTube. This is $8.99, I believe. And you don't just get WXW, you got Body Slam over in Denmark, Rising Sun from Italy, Bodyzoy from Belgium, APC Catch from France. They also show a couple of other different wrestling promotions from Germany. So it's a great way if you want to be, it's the perfect channel if you want to try and get into more European wrestling to see who's coming up in and around the scene, which we'll definitely be talking about very shortly. So it opened up Lawrence Roman versus Maggot for the WXW Shotgun Championship. I absolutely love Maggot. Lawrence Roman, since joining Amboss alongside the Arrows of Hungary and Robert Dreisker, he's been a renewed man. He is the pit bull of Amboss, as they've been calling him. Guess you could consider him a lot like Lance Storm. Very technically sound, not the biggest. Definitely got some muscle. Very athletic, and it was really, really fun match, great match. But it was Ahura who came out and attacked Baby Allison, who was ringside for Maggot, and cost Maggot the shot, his because obviously he became distracted, and Lawrence Roman took advantage, picked up the win, and yeah, Maggot is no longer the WXW Shotgun Champion. You really, really got to check out the anniversary show match between Ahura and Maggot, which was a ladder match for the WXW Shotgun Championship. One of the best ladder matches I've seen. Really, really worth checking out. That's from last year on their anniversary show. I caught that the other couple of weeks ago. Really, really good. Ava Everett versus Maria De La Rosa was next. I'm a big fan of Maria De La Rosa. Ava Everett came out in joggers and thing because I think it was her bags didn't arrive with when she arrived in Germany. So she had to, I believe, go to the local sports store. At one point, she's wearing a jacket, which she's able to get herself out of the jacket, and this distracts Maria De La Rosa, and that kind of helped her pick up the win. It's a fun match, a good showing by both women. Metahan and Rambo then took on the debuting Greedy Souls, Brendan White and Danny Jones. You know we love the Greedy Souls. They took on Metahan and his underling Rambo. Of course, Metahan, the former Teo Man from NXT UK, or even Lucky Kid if you want to go even further back than that. This was solid match. Rambo is a big dude, so he matched up really well with
Brendan White.
Right, and Danny Jones and Teo Man actually did have a match in NXT UK, so they knew each other, so they gave the technical side to this really, really good match. Picked up the win for Teo Man and Rambo. Teo Man is on a roll in WXW, heading into the 16 karat gold weekend coming up next month. Alice Inc. then took on former WXW champion Amal, the longest reigning champion. In fact, Amal was never actually defeated, pinned, or submitted for the championship. She gave the championship up when she joined WWE NXT UK. She has returned. of course, she's been like, well, look, I need a championship shot. I never lost my title. So she got it. Finally here, 1-on-1. It was a decent match. Good showing by Alice Inc. Great showing from Amel. But it was Alice Inc. who came away with the win. The semi-main event was the WXW Unified World Championship, Levanio versus Axel Tisca. This is brilliant. This is excellent. It's hard-hitting, technical, drama. And then I'm not going to go into the whole details because you definitely need to go see it for yourself because shocking as well. So definitely go check this show out. And that match in particular, Vanio versus Axel Tisca. Liba! It was brilliant. It was love. It really was. In the main event, you had Peter Tihanyi teaming up with the Frenchadors, Agil Blanc and Senza Volto, as they faced off against Ambosses, the Arrows of Hungary, and Robert Dreisker. Now, Robert Dreisker unfortunately picked up a nasty injury in this match. I believe a broken orbital nose and another part of his face basically broken. And he still managed to fight on for a little while. I 100% cannot tell you how he picked up the injury. Even watching it back, I'm still struggling to find out where it comes. And it just goes to show to you that this match, wrestling is dangerous at the end of the day. And what these guys do, putting their bodies on the line, is absolutely incredible to entertain us. We wish Robert Dreisker the best and hope to see him back sooner rather than later. Again, him and Boss have been a focal point, and especially Robert Dreisker for WXW. So this is a big loss. They managed to get him out of because it was kind of like a War Games match where they staggered entrances. So they managed to get him out the ring while they were swapping around and taken to the back. So it kind of ended up being a bit of a handicap match, which the team with the stronger numbers, the Frenchadors and Peter Tihanyi, picked up the win. It was a good match. Very shame about the injury. These things happen in wrestling, and as I say, we wish all the best to.
You missed out one match in there that I'm actually genuinely very interested in.
Which one's that one?
Bobby Guns defeating Yota Tsuji.
Oh yeah, sorry, I completely just realised that myself. Bobby Guns and Yota Tsuji. Yeah, this was good. This was absolutely good. This was Bobby Guns, just technical and striking mastery against Yota Tsuji's hard-hitting chops and lucha stylings these days. Since he's come back from CMML, he's hitting some great lucha-style offense right now. Great match. Definitely. I would definitely check this out. As I say, it's only available via their WXW now 2.0. It is $8.99, but if you want to get into European wrestling and whatnot, this is the perfect package to do so. And highly recommend it. Now, what you can watch for free right now on the WXW YouTube channel is Fight Forever. This is brought to you by Mark Shuttle and Met, who is the commentator for WXW's Germany. So this is kind of a new thing that they're doing with these Fight Forever shows. They're typically taped without commentary. And what they're doing is Mark Shuttle and they're doing very similar to us, apart from they're streaming it. They're streaming the actual match, and they're just discussing the match as it goes. They talk about the whole show as everything. They also talk about Back to Roots, which I just talked about. As I say, this is a match between Brendan White and young Hungarian superstar Peter Tihanyi.
Give me a 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1, now. Oh no, that's Hammerlock.
That's Hammerlock, Fight or Flight.
No, right.
On the upside, we both clicked on that one.
Yes, okay, right. Must be the next one down, hopefully. Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, now. Yes, this is WXW Fight Forever. We get an advert first.
Clean my Mac. Free up space. Boost speed.
So these are actually, as I say, Mark Shuttle and Matt actually host these live. So you can join the chat live when these air. It was 7 p.m. German time. I thought it was 7 p.m. English time, so I didn't tune in as it went live. Damn it, I forgot. Should have realised it would be 7 p.m. German time. Oh, here we go. Mine's kicked off. I've finally got see Peter Tihanyi there doing his high-flying entrance there. Extremely athletic, extremely confident young man. You know, he's got the fan support in WXW. He's earned that fan support through just amazing performances throughout. This is the first the first match on this show. Referee Tassilo Jung there is actually one of the COOs of WXW, and an extremely nice dude. In fact, we've had him on our show, and when I went out to WXW Germany for the World Tag Team Festival, he was ever so kind to me. He was just a really, really nice guy, and I really wish I could have been out to 16 carat. Here he is, Brendan White, the big Welsh bear, bronco, workhorse, whatever you like to call him. He is a big
Sir.
Yeah, he is a big sir indeed. Again, we've actually had Brendan White on our show. He is a lovely bloke.
He is top guy.
Lovely bloke when he's not in the ring. When he's in the ring, he's a extremely tough bastard.
He's definitely not somebody I would want to upset.
No. You can see Peter Tihanyi certainly got some height to him in this match, because by the looks of it, he is maybe an inch or two bigger than Brendan.
He does seem to have the height advantage, so he'll have the reach advantage, but
yeah, it just gets muscled into the corner there. Peter Tihanyi's like, calm down. Brendan White just has to say he is him and the Greedy Souls, Danny Jones right now, one of the best tag teams in Europe. I know Mark Shuttle and Matt are very complimentary of the Greedy Souls, both in this match here, as well as Danny Jones's match against. He takes somebody on like Fight Forever next week. I can't remember who he faces, but also during the tag team match at Back to Roots, they talk about the fact that yes, they would love to see the Greedy Souls at WXW's World Tag Team Festival. I'd like to think that we got this ball rolling, because when we had Brendan White on the show, I directly said, Brendan, well, would you like to be in WXW's World Tag Team Festival? He's like, yes. But so great start in this match. We're getting to see both the power of Brendan White, but also the athleticism here of Peter Tihanyi, who I know you've not really had much chance to see, but you maybe caught his progress showings.
Yes, I've seen his progress showings, and I've seen a couple of WXW bits, and he's lighting up Brendan.
Absolutely. He's been entrenched in a battle with Dreisker and the Arrows of Hungary, who actually trained him. He was trained by Icarus Andova at the HCW dojo in Hungary. As mentioned before, the Arrows of Hungary, created a scene in for wrestling in Hungary, and of course Peter Tihanyi is one of their young highlights, as well as a few other guys. But look at the power from Brendan White.
Yeah. I mean, build-wise, he reminds me a lot of Callum Newman.
Yeah, I would say he's maybe a little bit slighter than Callum, but maybe an inch taller.
Well, you could if you're being very pedantic, yes.
If I was being very pedantic, yeah. But yeah, no, they are very similar. It's a match I would absolutely love to see. I know my wife, her dream match is actually to see Peter Tihanyi and Leon Slater go 1-on-1 because they are her two favorite wrestlers.
Oh, they could do the spot from the Royal Rumble where they both jump off the top rope and crash in the middle.
They literally probably could. We're getting to see some of the Brendan White show in here, and you can see the fans have responded well to both the thing. You can see the live comments coming up. White is a beast.
Yes, yes, he is.
Yes, he is, and absolutely. But as I say, yeah, the Hungary scene with guys like Maverick coming up, Ben Stoff or BT, very, very fantastic competitors. You've got Orsia and Iva Klosky on the women's side of that. And you've got Passion Pro, which is run by the Arrows of Hungary. Tends to be a bit more of a European supercard. And then they have HCW, which kind of gives them a weekly televised show over in Hungary alongside WWE.
Yeah.
So there you go. And as I say, all of that completely started by the Arrows of Hungary. I tell
Big
you,
suplex.
was a really good match on this Fight Forever card that we have. It's the main event of this show, and it's Axel Tiska versus Yota Tsuji.
Well, I'm excited for that one.
It is absolutely brilliant. 100% recommend you checking out that match once we're done recording, of course. But really, really good match between Axel Tiska and Yota Tsuji. The card also features two more matches. It is Massimo Pesca from Italy. And I've probably butchered it, and I'm really, really, really sorry if I did. There's a lot of buzz around that young man, in particular Italy, but across the European scene. You wanted to say something there?
No, I was just going to Google something quickly. Massimo Pesca, because I've not seen him yet.
No, so he's I believe he's competing on like Rising Sun in Italy, as well as what's the new one? SAJ Wrestling, which is Squasher Jobber.
Yep.
Squasher Jobber Wrestling, which I absolutely love the name. Now he actually faces Maria De La Rosa on this card. An intergender match is a really, really good match. Very impressive from both performances. As well as another all-women's match that features Ava Everett against Lia Dream, I believe. Kaya Dream, sorry. Which again, very, very good match. Solid performance by both. This is fun. This show's only an hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes long.
Lovely step up, Insecurity followed by a sliced bread by Tahani there. That was great.
And that's Tornado DDT as well that he hits, that one-legged. But what are your impressions of Peter Tihanyi in
I
this
like
match?
him. I like him a lot. He has got great skill. The crowd are behind him, but he doesn't seem to be playing to the crowd too much.
No, he's not requesting the crowd to cheer for him. He's not like, oh, come on, get behind me, cheer for me. It's
Yeah.
a very natural. Oh, Brendan White there. Big black hole slam.
Shocked that he didn't get it done there.
Me too. Brendan White, possibly in the UK, when he's got the crowd behind him, would probably have a bit more advantage in this match and maybe would have got the 1, 2, 3 hitting that huge. But with the fan support over in Germany, it just kind of pushes Peter Tihanyi on. And that's exactly what you want from your baby faces. You don't want your baby faces to be like, oh, cheer for me. I think sometimes gets overdone in wrestling. Oh, get the crowd going. No, let's just get the crowd going via the match.
Yeah.
Great dodge there from Peter Tihanyi. Nice little escape from the under.
Oh, and the 1, 2, 3 from a crossbody.
Yeah, I was actually quite surprised that it was 1, 2, 3 from a crossbody. But
Yeah, so was I.
you know what? I also kind of like this because he's not having to these type of matches, these warm-ups, training style matches, non-big show matches. It's nice to see guys pick up victories without using their finishers. That way, when you see him hit moves like a crossbody in a big time matchup, you could possibly believe that he can win off that crossbody, because we've seen he can win off a crossbody.
Yeah, that was a real. I enjoyed that because it surprised me, and surprises in wrestling is really what you want.
Yeah, if I was, it was a television style match, if you like.
Yeah, I get you.
It's not their main show match. This is but I think this is a great show for seeing, because this is where you're going to see a lot of guys you're not going to see on the big WXW cards, like Massimo Presca, like Kia Dream, who are still, working their way up. Of course, this was taped on the same weekend as Back to the Roots, so Greedy Souls were there for a full weekend. And I really look forward to catching next week's Fight Forever show, which will feature some more big time matches with Bobby Guns and Danny Jones in action as well. So definitely worth checking out. So yeah, what did you think of the match?
I thought it was great. Really enjoyed it. Again, like I say, loved the finish. I wasn't expecting it. Really enjoyed seeing Peter Tihanyi in that, and yeah, good match.
Yeah, absolutely well said. I'm going to talk about Progress Start Spreading the News, which is available on Demand Progress. It is about 3.5 hours long. Obviously, they are no longer on the WWE network, so you can only watch this exclusively on the Demand Progress network.
Does that mean they can say the sweary words?
That means they can swear the sweary words right now. I think Mark Adams even makes a joke about being PG on the commentary table. Look, this was a really good show. It starts off hot. You got Leon Slater versus Tate Mayfair. Tate Mayfair's just brings the heat. He is an absolutely detestable person. Is somebody who is so easy to hate, which is why I love him. I think he's fantastic. Tateness is greatness, and unfortunately he did not get the win over Leon Slater in this match. Leon Slater, typical Leon Slater, just looking fantastic, hitting big moves, flying. The athleticism on that young man, the charisma on that young man, it's no wonder he's already on GCW. It's not going to be long before he's signed to a big deal somewhere, whether that's AEW, whether that's WWE. He's going to be somewhere soon.
Yeah.
Up next was Big Damo versus Warren Banks, and they defeated the 0121. Solid match. I've got nothing against the match in particular, apart from one thing: a Frontier tag team defeating a natural tag team always. Yeah, sits a lot wrong with me. I know Big Damo and Warren Banks are great, and I believe the reason they are teaming is they became close whilst Warren Banks was out injured, because Big Damo was helping him with his injury and so forth. So I believe this is the reason. It does seem like, why couldn't he team up with the 8-7, Alexander Ruffle, Roy Johnson? It did surprise. So look, it's a good match. After the match, Tate Mayfair lays Warren Banks out with the brass knuckles.
That'd be a match be worth watching.
Yeah, but obviously they've been building to that since the last show, where Warren Banks turned back up following his match with Simon Miller. RKJ versus Axel Tiska beat the crap out of each other, and it was brilliant.
How long was it? Was it a long match or was it a fairly short one?
It was a decent length match. It was a decent length match. Of course, RKJ then gets on the mic afterwards, and that's where he lays out the challenge to Big Damo for the Atlas Championship, which we're still a little bit on the side about.
We'll see what happens with the match. Well, no, we don't need to see what happens with the match. We said that before. The match itself will be brilliant.
But yeah, we then had the women's Thunder Bastard match, which featured Rhio, Sky Smith, and Kanji, Lizzie, Evo, Millie McKenzie, Danny Luna, and Raven Creed. So good match, absolutely. Great. You know, these type of matches are always a lot of fun. The staggered entrances, the eliminations. Looks like we're getting something between Millie McKenzie and Lizzie Evo coming out of it. As well as Danny Luna possibly teaming with Raven Creed coming out of it. But main takeaway is Rhio came away with the win. She is the next in line for a championship match against Lana Austin. When they'll have that match, I don't know. I'd probably assume they'll do it for because I know they're back in Manchester in April on a Friday, because they're doing the show before the For the Love of Wrestling weekend. So I'm assuming they'd probably hold off on having that match till then. Of course, this weekend it is Alley Catch versus Lana Austin with Session with Martina as the special guest referee. And Rhio looks to be set to take out both Sky Smithson and LA Taylor en route to facing Lana Austin in a tag team match. Lio Rush and Danny Black had an excellent match. Probably one of the best matches of the show. Great. Lio Rush was excellent, as you can imagine. Danny Black really holds his own in this match, and I think that's where the plaudits have really got to go. We know Lio Rush. Everybody knows Lio Rush. He is an amazing competitor, but Danny Black met him all the way and really pushed Lio Rush in this match. Didn't look out of place against Lio Rush, so this was really fair play to Danny Black.
Love those guys.
Love the CPF boys. Lana Austin versus Session Moth. Great match. You know, again, two veteran competitors. They know each other. They bounce off each other so well. The complete opposites. It's great.
Which Session Moth turned up?
The typical fun-loving Session Moth.
Cool.
But with the help of LA Taylor and Sky Smithson at the Lana's side, it was, you know, easy for Lana to come away with a ring win, which is why Session Moth inserted herself as the special guest referee in the upcoming match against Alley Catch. Then it was Sunshine Machine versus Lycos Gym.
Wow, that's a unique match.
Yes, you're right. It's not a very unique match. I've seen this match. I can't tell you how many times I've seen this match, because I've seen this match too many times. But do you know what? This was the best Lycos Gym Sunshine Machine match I've seen.
The thing, they do always put out really good matches.
No. Think of nothing they put out before, because they all pale in comparison to this match. Like, this is the best Lycos Gym I have seen in a long time. This is the best Kid Lycos you have seen in a long time. Kid Lycos 2. This is pretty much most Sunshine Machine matches. What was the difference here was the way Lycos Gym went about things, and the story being told on the Lycos Gym side of things, rather than say the Sunshine Machine side of things. But definitely their best match, in my opinion, from all the matches, because I've seen this match a lot, whether it's been Rev Pro UK, North Wrestling, 4 or 5 times on Progress over the last, it has happened a lot. This is the best of the lot. And Kid Lycos right now is on another level. Since he went to Japan, since he went and, worked with Chris Brooks and Massimo, he has completely changed himself. He's getting bigger. You can see the weight that he's putting on. You can see how much it's giving him better athleticism, better power. And yeah, this is great and definitely the best. Then it was Spike Trevay versus G Money. So this was really good. Starts off with the promo from G Money, and this is the first time I'm like, yeah, G Money's serious. G Money, yeah, this is the G Money I've always wanted to see. Get rid of the comedy. He really, but he gets attacked right on the entrance. And Spike Trevay and Bullet kick the crap out of him. But this is wrestling, so of course, and I love the way Spike Trevay's, come on, just say it. Just say you want to continue the match. You want the match to go on, because that's what we have to have. We have to have you. You have to tell the referee. It was a really good spot, and this was great. Excellent match. I'm not going to tell you how it completely ends, because you should go watch it on Demand Progress. Yeah, build into what's coming with Cara Noir and Spike Trevay. This is worth it.
I'm glad that you found the very serious Gene Money there. The very serious Gene Money who's about to have the Progress show, Gene Money's Daft Lad Emporium.
Yeah. Look, I've just seen the fact that they've booked Leon Slater versus Callum Newman versus Jack Bandicoot. So I'm not complaining about that show anymore.
No, I bet you're not.
Gene Money, be as daft as you want, Gene Money. Keep putting on great matches like that, and I'm going to be a happy man. But definitely, yeah, go watch this. Well worth it. Right, shall we watch Hammerstone?
Let's watch Hammerstone. That's number 2 on our magic list, isn't it?
It was number 2, yes.
Right. Give me a countdown.
Where's the links gone? There they are. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, now.
Crap. Don't worry, I'll catch up.
No. Right. I've paused.
No, it's all right. It's all right. Go.
Go. 3, 2, 1, now.
There we go.
There we go. Now, well, you can't hear it yet because we're doing these on dust, but he's making his entrance to the music that was made for him by Solve Pro Wrestling, and it just suits him down to a T.
Who's him, pronoun boy?
Ian Skinner. Sorry, Ian Skinner, the lad. The guy, look at him. I know you go back and listen to the track later when you can see him entrance to this music. I love Ian Skinner in ICW. I love Ian Skinner in Discovery Wrestling over in Scotland. But he plays a very more serious, quiet, killer type. Almost, Chris Ridgway-ish to a degree. Whereas in Soft Pro in here, we're seeing this cocky, confident, bad boy swagger.
That's a good description.
He seems to be enjoying himself so much, both here and over at Soft Pro. You can see him, the smile, the more fun that he's having with alongside these. This is, brilliant, and big ups to Soft Pro for the music that they did for Ian Skinner, which actually was a collab, because originally it was a lyricless song, but Ian Skinner's friend actually does the rap into it, and I think he does an excellent job. So this is KM Lane, comes from the Catch 22 school in London. I've seen him compete for UKPW, among a couple of other promotions. Young lad, really beginning to build some momentum. As you can see, very charismatic young man, very got the support of the crowd very early on. Doesn't seem to even need word for it. It helps when you've got people not wanting to cheer for Ian Skinner.
He's got a very anime sort of New Day type look to him in that jacket.
Yeah, it's very similar style to the New Day jacket and tights even as well. And you can see that anime type inspiration to it. And of course, CPF, close personal friend, our close personal friend, your close personal friends, from the close personal friends. There's Just Joe Lando, again fresh back from injury. He's a month back now since he's returned from that nasty broken foot, I believe it was. Go check out our interview with the CPF boys. We've had Just Joe Lando now actually on the show 3 times. Once very early on, a year back, and then 2 more recent ones. But we actually had all 4 of the CPF: Callum Newman, Danny Black, Maverick Mayhew, and Just Joe Lando on. It's actually one of our top viewed interviews, and it's a really fun show.
It was brilliant. It was absolutely amazing. You did such a good job, and I laughed my arse off. Let's see how the Steezing crew do.
Indeed. Getting the typical chant, which is anyone but Skinner from the crowd. At this point, I do remember.
This is Hammerlock Wrestling's 30th year.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
And they really shine back to their history in this show, as well as the future in this show. As of course, we're seeing 3 guys right now who are, the future of this business. There is no other words to describe it other than, these guys are the future of the business. Ian Skinner, Just Joe Lando, and KM Lane. Earlier on the card, you actually have more junior heavyweight action. So this, they have obviously a Hammerlock. They are going full legit junior heavyweight division, women's division, tag division, all value the same.
Yeah.
So we love that. They earlier had Amir Jordan versus Leon Slater. Which is a really, really fun match. Crowd interaction on that one is absolutely fantastic. Dance off and everything.
I'm looking at Joe Lando down in the corner there, and he's going to be going over to Los Angeles with Danny Black, isn't he?
He is. Before that, actually, they're off to Belgium.
Well, in Belgium, it shouldn't be a problem. But what I was going to say was he's definitely going to need some suntan cream before he heads over to the States.
Which is surprising because he is actually from Orlando originally. He's an American. But as you say, Ian Skinner, who lives in Scotland, by the way, seems to have more colour.
I've got to say, Joe's making Sheamus look tan.
Yeah, go on, get your sunblock out, Just Joe Lando. But yeah, he's off to GCW, but he's off to Belgium this weekend with Danny Black. They're taking on the Rivalry in Bodyzoy Wrestling.
So in the match, Ian Skinner got slapped by both men, so has gone off in a sulk and is now doing commentary at the commentary table.
Yeah, this was hilarious. This was absolutely hilarious. And Ian Skinner does a fantastic job at commentary, to be honest.
I'm not surprised.
You'll have to go back and check this out later to hear the commentary from Ian Skinner, who just completely ignores all the questions being thrown at him by Ricky Slater, who does the commentary. Oh, just great athleticism from Just Joe Lando there.
Yeah, the speed that these 2 guys are going is just phenomenal. They're literally trying to hurry it down now.
Oh, I can't remember what he's just shouting at the moment, but it's brilliant. Yeah, there's a lot of fun in this match as well as some great action, and it starts off with a bit of comedy, a bit of serious unseriousness here as they go into chase Ian Skinner, who has decided to go backstage.
And now everyone's gone backstage, and we are looking at the curtain, and they've both got Ian Skinner by an ear each. They are pulling him out like a naughty schoolboy.
Definitely parading him around the crowd as well. Poor Ian Skinner. This is supposed to be a triple threat match, not a handicap.
But he's escaped and he's just gone off the ring apron and kneed KM Lane square in the nose.
Indeed, and dived on by Just Joe Lando. There's obviously heavyweight action in this card as well. You've got the UK Heavyweight Championship tournament qualifier matches that feature Will Cruz versus Shah Samuels. Of course, Shah Samuels actually one of the guys originally trained down at Hammerlock. So definitely history.
Oh, this is unique.
Oh yes, the I guess we would call it a standing figure 4, and then he gets on the arm lock there. Just Joe Lando showing that he's more than just a high flyer. He's got some technical know-how as well.
That standing figure 4 is fantastic. I love it.
Fellow CPF member Callum Newman is also on this card, as he's got to team with again another Hammerlock original in Magic, and they faced off against the tag team of Reese and Rogan, who are the love children of Team 3D and
a bear and
the
a
Nasty
brick.
Boys. No, they are literally the Nasty Boy. If the Nasty Boys, if you mix Nasty Boys with the Dudley Boys, you would get Reese and Rogan, Wrecking Ball Reese and Big Hoss Rogan. We can see Just Joe Lando really just showing off right now with some great high flying maneuvers.
Oh, flippy.
Gotta love a bit of flippy.
Yep.
It's gonna roll out. Oof. Bit nasty on the DDT landing for Ian Skinner there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pele kick.
You've also got LA Taylor versus Sapphire Reed, which is another really strong match. LA Taylor, the Demolition Woman, she is on a roll right now. Sapphire Reed puts up a big fight against it's a good fun match, and I'm a big fan of Sapphire Reed.
Ian Skinner there with an absolutely beautiful reversal to roll through. Absolutely great.
Follows up with a beautiful kick and then a neck
snapper.
As I say, the technical brilliance of Ian Skinner, the Taekwondo background, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu background. He is a phenomenal competitor. He can come at you with some vicious strikes, as we're seeing right now, as well as just tying you up in some great submissions. The only problem is he's a little bit too cocky these days. Oh, that's a nasty cravat throw suplex.
Yeah, I'll go with that. I want to see Ian Skinner versus Lance Rivera.
It'd be a good match, yeah. I'd definitely see that. Ian Skinner, he's not afraid to get into the diving and the high flying as well. Somebody who's very much an all-rounder in wrestling, but I think he's best when he's unleashing his kicks and submissions.
Yeah, his pure game is strong. Oh, we've got a Tower of Terror.
It's a triple threat, so we have to have a Tower of Terror. Of course, then the actual main event of this show is Jim Die Hard versus somebody who started training at Hammerlock when Hammerlock started in Adams Muscle Manfield. And of course, he was actually one of the first people we ever had on as a guest.
He was.
I think he was maybe our third, fifth. No, between 3 and 5. He was definitely one of our very, very early guests. An extremely knowledgeable man on all things British wrestling over the last 30 years, and that's a great spot, wasn't it?
Was a three-way pump kick triangle knock everybody out moment.
Absolutely brilliant. But yeah, he takes on Big Jim Diehard in a great match. And again, I'm not going to tell you much about that match. You should go watch these. This is free again, as we say, on Hammerlock UK's YouTube channel. So as we said with all of these, you should definitely go watch all of these. They're free.
Yeah, you can't argue with that.
Can't argue with that. Watch wrestling for free.
I'm looking forward to next week when I'm going to be down at PEW watching Big Jim Diehard live.
Yeah, absolutely. He's in a match. Who's he facing over at PEW again?
PEW, he is teaming up with other members of the Entitled.
Oh, yes,
on Jason
six-man
Joshua
tag.
and his friends.
Oh, excellent Canadian Destroyer there from
Joe Lando
Lando.
interrupted.
And I'm gonna forgive him for it because it was a unique way to get to the Canadian Destroyer. Oh, I love that dodge and German suplex. Just Joe Lando is phenomenal, but KM Lane, fighting spirit.
The pace that these guys go at is just insane.
Yeah, so this is your first time seeing KM Lane, so let me know your thoughts on KM Lane.
I have seen him before on a UKPW show,
Okay.
but I think he's got a really good look, really good technique, and he's just at that difficult size. He's not a heavyweight yet, but he's a little bit bigger than most of the light heavyweights.
Yeah, he's certainly a tall lad. Of course, he's got the big afro hair that may make him look a couple of inches taller than maybe he is, but he certainly does have some height to him. But we're definitely seeing some athleticism to him. You can see you could liken him to very much of an early Will Ospreay.
I can see that.
Ian Skinner, you cheeky lad, picks up the win there. Great match. What do you think of that match?
Slimy heel. That was a fun match. That's the kind of match you can show your non-wrestling friends to show them what wrestling can be.
Yeah, this would be a great match to all enjoy on a night out. Afterwards, we get Ian Skinner delivering a promo backstage about wanting them to sort out a junior heavyweight qualifying matches because he's claiming that he has defeated 5 people in the Hammerlock now, because at the first Hammerlock show he won a fatal 4-way, and in this one he's won a triple threat match. So according to him, he's now on a 5-match win streak. I love this Ian Skinner. I think this is the best Ian Skinner version that we're kind of getting right now, and definitely worth checking out. That brilliant. Go check that out. That is free on YouTube. Rev Pro UK live in London 80. Robbie X defeated Lycos Jim. Kid Lycos. Kid Lycos again looking the best he's ever looked. This was a great match. Dan Maloney defeated Chris Bronson. Chris Bronson making his 3rd appearance for Rev Pro UK now. In his matches, he's had to face Luke Jacobs, Gabriel Kidd, and Dan Maloney. Poor lad, but he's really given himself a great impression of all 3 of those matches. Hard-hitting, heavyweight encounters. Chris Bronson, again, somebody who looks really bright for the future. Greedy Souls defeated Callum Newman and JJ Gale. Really fun match. Callum Newman and JJ Gale have decided that they will no longer be teaming together on Rev Pro UK following this loss, because they've lost 6 in a row now, and this was a team put together by Will Ospreay. So I wonder if we'll see a CPF member come in and maybe have I need somebody to get behind Callum Newman and put a storyline and put a belt on him this year. He is such an incredible performer, one of the best young talents in the UK.
Yep, definitely.
JJ Gale is awesome as well in this match. Phenomenal. Michael Oku versus Eddie Dennis was a really good match. Interesting the way that a match goes about things, and yeah, it's a good story to be following, this Eddie Dennis, Connor Mills, Michael Oku situation.
I really need to listen to the latest episode of the Chris Jericho podcast because he interviews Michael Oku, and also promises him a spot with AEW when AEW come to the UK.
Absolutely deserving. And one of, I've not always been Michael Oku's biggest fan. I sometimes thought that Rev Pro UK pushed him too hard and gave him too much in matches, but he is a phenomenal talent. He really, really is. He's won me over since my early days of watching Michael Oku. I still prefer Connor Mills,
Yep.
but I'm a big fan of Michael Oku these days. And, I outright put him as my number one star in the UK right now. And I think that has been confirmed by Chris Jericho for me.
I can see where you're coming from, but I still think it's difficult to say that when he isn't quite as widely travelled as a lot of the other wrestlers, including my number one for the moment, who is in the next match.
But I would say in a little bit of a disagreement to that is because he hasn't had to go, Rev Pro UK running 3 shows a week, and then he's going off to Italy or Spain or America. He's not had to do he's been the top star in one of the top promotions of that year, but consistently on their show, every show Rev Pro UK has, you guarantee Michael Oku's going to be there. And for me, that's what makes you a top star. If a promotion puts you on every show.
I would also say so is Dan Maloney, so is Callum Newman, and so is Luke Jacobs.
No, they haven't been on all shows. They'll miss a show, but Michael Oku will be on every show. And then when he's not on those shows, he's typically off over in Italy, over in America, and that's why I gave it to him. But you're right, Luke Jacobs was in the next match against Connor Mills. Great match, really, really good match. Loved this match. Danny Luna versus Jodie Fret. They actually had a women's match on the card, thank God, and it was brilliant. Simple as it was absolutely brilliant. The Arrows of Hungary then took on the Sunshine Machine. That was excellent, absolutely excellent. And Gabriel Kidd and Yota Tsuji chopped and battered each other for 30 minutes and absolutely brilliant. And RKJ turns up right at the end. Interesting story playing out with RKJ and Rev Pro UK management, but it does look like it will be RKJ versus the Great O'Khan at the Revolution Rumble in York Hall in March.
Will be a good match.
Will be an excellent match, absolutely.
I'm running low on time, so do we want to jump to Sov Pro?
Yeah, I would definitely. There's another show out there, New Wave Academy. It's available on YouTube. We were going to watch Mark Ellis, James Ellis, Mark Andrews match. Unfortunately, we're just going to run out of time. Quickly run down this great match between Mark Andrews and James Ellis. Great match between Greedy Souls and Act 2. Great match between Danny Luna and Echo Reed. Excellent match between Wild Boar and Shane Hooker. As you can
what was Shane Hooker like? Because I've not seen any of Shane stuff.
Fantastic. He had a great match here with Wild Boar. As you can see my ratings by the side of it. It was actually, I thought, just about the best of the 4 matches. And Shane Hooker really gives me vibes of Mark Andrews mixed with a bit of Will Ospreay.
Nice.
The gimmick and the whole, he's coming out like in an Assassin's Creed, but it's like bright red, like Sergeant Pepper. Sergeant Pepper's Assassin's Creeds.
Yeah.
They also have a 30-man rumble. James Ellis and Mark Andrews battled for the number 130 position. Mark Andrews got the number 30 position. James Ellis got the number 1 position. James Ellis spends the entire show rumble pretty much running away, jumping outside the ring. not getting involved in the entire thing. And eventually he wins this and becomes the New Wave Pro Academy champion when he eliminates Nico Angelo. James Ellis looks to be a bright, young, upcoming, detestable heel, and somebody definitely worth watching out for. Right, my soft pro trip, Manchester. It was brilliant. Right, first off, the venue, the Academy in Manchester, great. The production of this, the whole setup, the stage, crisp, looked better than the closest comparison I could put to it was my WXW Germany trip when it came to setup and look and feel. This seemed really ahead. A couple of things is I love the ring aprons. Get yourself a ring mat with some Pro for the ring mat. It would be maybe one thing I would do extra, and maybe do a yellow and blue rope. Just a little, just a couple of more little extra things, but absolutely, the whole setup looks top drawer, and great job by everybody. Lincoln Jack did a great job announcing. He did a great job getting everybody hyped. It started off with the women's scramble match, which a little bit of a new twist on the scramble is they had the staggered entrances. Tiny little things, makes a little difference. I really enjoyed this scramble match. There was a couple of points maybe early on where they didn't announce. Somebody had one that they really started to do right at the end to let you know who was the current holder and whatnot. Eventually, LA Taylor is the inaugural champion. She did a great job. Great match. Really impressive by everyone. Lizzie Evo antagonizing the crowd is just amazing. Her entrance. This is going to be available on video on demand very soon, so definitely check this out. It was a factual right segment. He came out with big chairs, but they were run off by the Banter Bus, Uncle Ryan, Danny Proper, and Tom Farewell. Fun little segment, really. Nothing wrong with it, absolutely. Leon Slater versus Endakara is brilliant. It's amazing. I knew this match was going to be great going into it, but it was just even that little bit better than what I even thought it was going to be. He was phenomenal. I got a chance to speak to Endakara during one of the breaks, and he was like, "Yes, I know you. You do that podcast," and I'm like, you know, it really does. When wrestlers or promoters or anybody tells us they listen to us, it's always nice to hear, and you're just like, why do you listen to us? Thank you for listening to us out there, everybody that does listen to us. And thank you to Endakara. I was actually staying at the same hotel with Endakara.
And who else was at your hotel that you shared a lift with?
I also got to share a lift with Josh Alexander, who was staying at the exact same hotel as I was staying at that weekend as well, and had a nice conversation. It wasn't too full on, just, thank you, you're awesome, cool. Didn't ask for photos or anything. Just let him get,
Was it more a case of, thank you, you're awesome, you're cool?
Yeah, pretty much. And although I mentioned to him they just shared my video actually, which has Josh Alexander giving poor Kez Evans Suplex City. Great match between Kez Evans and Josh Alexander. If you love wrestling, you're gonna love this match. It was brilliant. It was absolutely phenomenal. Before that, you had the 8-7 defeating RPD and HT Drake. After the match, Rory Coyle came out and started being like, oh, well, I need a co-star and then I need an antagonist. And then HT Drake betrayed RPD and they smashed the VHS tape over him.
Ooh.
Decent segment, though. Decent segment. Commander Sterling was supposed to face Shreddy, but Shreddy had picked up an injury the night before, so Sam Bailey took his place. Fun match. Commander Sterling came away with the win. They did a great promo. They were absolutely phenomenal. They talked about the situation with a certain WWE worm, and yeah, definitely go check that out. And great chance of You Belong sort of thing. So that was great. And as I say, Kez Evans, Josh Alexander, excellent. Then it was the second half of the show. Smashing Mike versus Ian Skinner was brilliant. With Smashing Mike's dad got one of the biggest pops of the night. Great crowd chants for Smashing Mike's dad. Ian Skinner was excellent in this match. absolute detestable cocky heel, who also had Smashing Mike beat on more than one occasion, but pulled Mike off the mat and just started stomping on his head, getting Mike's dad to come into the ring, and then Smashing Mike hit the game over, and no one kicks out of the game over. So great match. Collective, which is a group of Kelly Six, Leighton Buzzard, and Danny Duggan, defeated RJ Sig and Danny Hope and Joey Hayes, also known as the Models. This was fantastic. Great match. Shotty had asked Bullet to come down and be the special enforcer for this match to make sure the Collective didn't get up to any shenanigans, but Bullet was in on the shenanigans.
What a shock.
What a shock. And so was LA Taylor. She's joined the Collective as well. So it's now Kelly Six, Leighton Buzzard, Danny Duggan, Bullet, and LA Taylor, who all fit together bar Leighton Buzzard. Because everybody else is literally from the same area, have grown up and have actually kind of wrestled around each other. Leighton Buzzard, of course, has been busy over in ICW in the north. The other guys are from the south. I wonder if we'll see that play into maybe the first thing that happens. But they look like a really dominant faction right now.
Great faction. Great name for the faction as well.
Yeah, really, really like this faction. Sam Gradwell and Brady Phillips had a huge hard-hitting encounter. This was excellent. Sam, they really went to another level. I loved this match. Sam Gradwell and Brady Phillips were brilliant and great match. And then it was Simon Miller versus Joseph Connor. And I guess I wasn't really expecting huge amounts from this match. I was wrong, man. This was brilliant. This was even more violent and hard hitting than the previous match between Gradwell and Phillips. This went all over the place. I thought I was safe in the back row. I was wrong. I was not safe in the back row. They came over to the back row and started fighting along everywhere. This was brilliant. Simon Miller in particular, he is really going all out in every match I've seen him in recently. He is saying, I am not a comedy. I am not a joke. I am not here to be a YouTuber in wrestling. He is here to be a wrestler. He is putting his heart on his sleeve every time he competes right now. And him and Joseph Connors absolutely smashed the place down. And I thought it was a great match. The only shameful thing here is, well, the show had overrun. It started late and it had overrun, and a lot of people missed the last two matches, and it's a real shame because of how good the last two matches were. But overall, this is a fantastic show. I got to speak to Shotty actually at the hotel briefly, who was very grateful to us for what we say, what we do for them. Great little chat with him. He seems somebody who really loves what he's doing, and they're trying to do something new and special at Soft Pro, and I'm right behind it. I really am.
They are. It's good. It really is good.
Any questions, young man?
No, I'm looking forward to watching that one. I'm going to go out of my way to watch it.
Yeah, video on demand. I believe the last show was done on pay-per-view via Vimeo. I don't know if they'll do the same again. I know that it's been done. I believe post-production is done because I've seen Shotty teasing the release of it. So when this comes out, go out your way to watch this. Go out your way to watch all of the shows that we've talked about throughout this show. And Dan, what's some special news that you've got to tell us about?
I'm doing some more ring announcing. As we record this tomorrow, I am heading up to Birmingham for Full Force Wrestling Presents Show Us Who You Are. And this is going to be a really cool show because there's only one match that's been announced, which is Joey Scott versus Jason Joshua. But even that match, the stipulation hasn't been announced. Now, they've also announced Nadia Sapphire, Martin Kirby, and Harry Singh, but they've not announced who they're going to be wrestling against. There are going to be some real surprises at this show, and I cannot wait, although I'm trying to work out how the hell I'm going to know who to announce. I think it's going to be a case of watch them come out and then do the announcement.
So yeah, this is, as you say, 10th of February is going to be in Birmingham, Full Force Wrestling. They used to be on Powered 4 TV. I remember seeing a couple of their shows back when they were on Powered 4 TV. They even had Kip Sabian on a show once, taking on Robbie X when Kip Sabian was preparing for his AEW return. So, you know, they have some context. They know some people. And I'm really proud of Big Daddy Dan up there, who I put over heavily as a fantastic announcer. I'm standing by that. I think you did a great job at PEW. I look forward to seeing you do more and more and more. And I'm going to keep applying for other jobs for you, even if you don't want them.
Thank you very much.
But I guess, look, with that said, go watch the matches that we've spoken about and watched on this show. Go watch all of the shows that I've talked about on this show. Go check out Wrestle Carnival. Go check out Soft Pro, Rev Pro UK, Progress. Hammerlock. Support British wrestling. Support independent wrestling. Support the wrestlers. Support podcasts that talk about independent wrestling. And don't feed the trolls.